Hey, my name is Lizzie Smiley, and I absolutely love helping people connect with their calling and all the tools they need to kick roadblocks and excuses right out the door so they can cultivate the life they dream about. If you want to launch, grow, pivot, or scale your Etsy shop, or you've always wanted to develop the mindset and skills to run your own business, then I'm your girl. I've had that entrepreneurial spirit going strong since my very first lemonade stand, and now I'm a work-at-home mama with multiple online companies and a full-time Etsy shop, all while being present with my kids for the everyday chaos and most important milestones. On this podcast, we'll talk about all things business, mindset, Etsy, creativity, dazzling our customers, and so much more. There's plenty of room at this table for you, so scooch on in and let's go. I'm holding nothing back. Welcome to How to Sell Your Stuff on Etsy. I'm so glad you're here. Hey guys, welcome back to the show this week. I am excited. We are mixing it up. This has been a long requested topic, and so I am stoked. I hope you don't mind me going off the Etsy script a little bit today to chat about TikTok Shop, because some amazing things are happening over there, whether selling your own items or selling items for another, seller like you see all over the app. It has become a very fascinating opportunity. And so I brought back our tried and true Kiera Butcher. She is the Fast Track Girl. You may follow her on Instagram or on TikTok at the Fast Track Girl. She is incredible at teaching on Etsy digital products. She's made unbelievable money, and she has taught thousands of people how to also sell digital products. And so I will link her last episode in the show notes when she was here with us. But she has had amazing success the last several months with TikTok Shop. And we were just chatting, catching up. And I was just like, man, I would love for you to share some of this with the podcast audience. So let me give you a refresher on her intro information, since I want to tell you a bit about her TikTok Shop success. Kierra is a TikTok Shop affiliate coach who specializes in researching trends and helping beginners know exactly what to do to make the most money with the TikTok Shop affiliate program. As a stay-at-home mom of 3, she loves finding ways to make money from home and is excited to continue to share trending product alerts, tutorials, and encouragement along the way. So I'm really excited to share this conversation with you. I hope you love it. I hope it sparks interest, and always for sure follow Kierra for any digital product tips as well. Her content is amazing on TikTok and Instagram, and her courses are great too. So please help me welcome Kierra to the podcast while we geek out about TikTok Shop. Yay! Kierra, welcome back to the podcast. I'm so glad you're here.
Hi, thank you so much for having me again.
I know. Well, we geek out all the time. You guys need to know how much I love Kierra. I harass her probably too much via text because I think she's the coolest and she's brilliant.
Oh, you're so nice. No, I'm like, it's always so fun to chat.
Business friends, right? One of my other girls, do you know who, Jenny from the shop, who does print on demand in the TikTok space? Have you heard of her?
Yeah.
She and I always joke about, if we go to a party, I need to find the other entrepreneur in the room and hide in the corner and just talk about that, because I don't want to talk about anything else.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You're one of those people for me, Kierra. So This is so fun. You need to know that my listeners have been asking, I've been getting DMs and emails and all of the things about TikTok Shop. And so I was really excited to see that you, someone that I really trust, talking about it, teaching about it. And then I got a chance to go through your incredible course on how to leverage it. The things I didn't even know I needed to ask to do it well. So I'm really, really excited. Will you please share with us, because you were on episode number 89, which I already mentioned, and I've linked below, talking about Etsy, but what created this adjacent pivot to TikTok Shop, adding that to your list of things that you do really well?
Yeah, I'm such a multi-passionate girly. And so while online, my biggest thing that I talk about is digital products and Etsy, I always have had more side hustles going on. And so I got this really unique opportunity to join this program as an early adopter last May, and I love trying new things. Just kind of fits my nature. I'm so excited to try out new side hustles. And so I was like, yeah, sign me up, let's do it. And so I added it then. I didn't start taking it seriously right away, but I was just so excited to be able to try something new. I just love to try new things in the side hustle space. So it just fit in perfectly. I was like, why not? It's fun to me. So this is my fun. So
yeah, same.
It just kind of ended up happening like that. And it's been awesome.
What has happened so far? So I know you said you started taking it really seriously in the fall. Was it October, right? When you started to decide to go hard on it? What happened since then? Like, what were the results like with TikTok Shop?
So yeah, once I had my first viral video, I was like, and I deposited a decent amount of money. I don't remember that exact amount, but I deposited a decent amount of money from that one video. I was like, oh, let's put some attention there. Let's give this a real shot. And so I started putting the effort in, and then between my first deposit in, I think it was like October 25th, and then the last deposit I had in January, so January 31st, I believe, I deposited over $100,000 into my actual bank account of like what I actually profited, which was absolutely incredible. Obviously, there are some holidays that went into that, but it was just such an amazing opportunity. I was like, I have to start talking about this because so many people don't even know. Like I did when I first got in the program, I didn't take it seriously. And I was like, well, let me be that person to tell you, take it seriously. Like you got to try this because this can completely change your life. It's a completely different opportunity than what digital products on Etsy is. Like I love both opportunities and they're both so incredibly different. And so I think, one might work great for someone, the other might not, or maybe you do both, whatever it is. They're both awesome. And I think it just depends on what you're looking for and what kind of stuff you're comfortable with doing.
Oh my gosh. So would you say like, this is such a new thing for me to talk about. Would you say it's very like there's just a strategy that you can follow? Like if someone can learn, because it was a different account, right? It wasn't your like Fast Track Girl TikTok account with a couple 100,000 followers. This was a different account that started smaller, right? That created those results for you?
Yeah. So I had two other accounts that went into it. So I had my other account that was like at 60, I want to say it's at like 60, I think it's at 69,000 followers right now. So it was a lot less than the Fast Track Girl, but still like a decent amount of followers. Mm-hmm. And then I got suspended on that account because I didn't pay attention to what wasn't allowed. And so then I actually had another backup account that had even less followers. And so that one is at like 40,000 followers. And I kind of between those two accounts are what I was able to bring that income with. So not Fast Track Girl, not the main Fast Track Girl account. So I was able to, oh my gosh, what was the original question? My brain.
No, you totally hit it. I was just confirming that like you did this with an established account, but not like an extremely massive one. And you've done all kinds of testing to see if it'll work on a smaller account. And You've had several people in your community start from scratch and be able to make this work, right? How many followers do you need to be able to do TikTok Shop?
So you have to have 5,000 followers in the US and then 1,000 if you're in the UK. So I think TikTok will eventually bring it down to 1K in the US. It's just more opportunities for people then to make money. So I think it kind of makes sense for them to go that direction. So that's why I'm saying like work so hard, even if it feels like 5,000 is so far away. If you can get to the 1,000, there's a good chance this year that it will come down. So might as well just put in the work and you'll already be there if they lower it.
So you had a girl in your community who had something go viral, right? And she got 5,000 pretty quickly. Will you tell the story? Because it's so good.
Yeah. So I don't know her personally, but she posted in our community Facebook group. So basically I have a Facebook group you can come be a part of if you're trying to grow on TikTok. And she posted that she got 5,000 followers overnight from sharing her prison stories on TikTok, which is so exciting for her. And it just shows that TikTok wants storytelling. And so if you want to blow up on TikTok overnight, you need to find that story that is so compelling that everyone's going to want to listen to, and you can grow so fast with a compelling story. And she's just a testament that it doesn't have to take forever to get 5K. It just takes that right story.
Yeah, I think what I've noticed when I like helping other people try to grow their account and then also growing a new account, I'm trying to get some like interesting, helpful base content in on the ground floor before I do the really compelling stuff. So that if someone comes because they've seen the viral video, when they look around, they're like, oh, there's reason to stay. Do you think that's probably a good approach to take? Or
I think people really just want to see what happens next. So if you break your telling story into like multiple parts, people will, and you don't post them one after another. So if you post one and then you wait a day to post the next one, people are hitting that follow button, they're hitting that save button, they're hitting that share button because they want to know what happens next. And they're just waiting. And so I think they won't really care about what you posted in the past, probably. They really just want to know how the story ends. Most people don't ever scroll the following page. People pretty much only scroll the FYP. So most people that see your content are people that have seen you before. But if you're telling a story and they want to know the ending, like you better believe like they're following you, they're saving for later. They want to know how that ends. It's human nature. You want resolution. And so I think that just having a compelling story broken up into parts that's kind of delayed, kind of you got people.
So mean.
and it works. But I think that's a great method. Or you just have a ton of parts that are just so many that they're going to spend an hour on your account watching the whole thing. But TikTok loves that watch time. So I think that's really more important. People don't often go back and watch your older stuff. It doesn't hurt, though, but
no, it's good to know. How would that then, like, let's say you come up with a really compelling story to share and to drag out. How does that turn into TikTok shop sales? Like, how would I use that to leverage into that?
You'd have to think about like, who are you attracting with that story? Like obviously getting to 5K followers is one thing, but like creating content that sells is a completely different factor of growing. So once you're at 5K, you really have to consider like, who is it that followed you? Like if you shared a bunch of stories about a topic, like, I don't know, like saving kittens or something, and then you have a bunch of like animal lovers like come in your account, and like that's what they're so excited about. And then you just start posting about like your favorite, like, fashion finds and like stuff that they're probably not that interested in. It probably wasn't the right audience. And so it is something to consider. Like if you are blowing up for something, like, is that the audience that you want to be speaking to when you promote products? Because studies are showing us like really like promoting products that fit into stuff that your, niche is interested in is going to make you the most money. And so I do think that there has to be some strategy. There's also some people have tried to just blow up on TikTok and then they got the 5K followers. They deleted all their old videos and then just switched the account to be a TikTok shop review account.
Really?
I think those accounts have struggled more because the core audience is like, wait, who are you? Why am I? But obviously, the storytelling will get you to the 5K if it's, compelling enough. But I think if people are invested in who you are as a person and like care about your journey in life, they're interested in what products you're talking about. I think as long as you're not being like sleazy and like only posting shop videos, like I would try to post like other videos in between to like keep an organic audience happy. But like I said, most people just scroll the FYP. So people aren't really scrolling your feed to know like, oh, she's only posting shop content, so.
Or you could position yourself as a TikTok shop review shop, or is that kind of overdone now?
So that's what I have mine set up as, and that I was doing, and it was working fabulously. Obviously, I was able to make a lot of income with that account. And that was just my idea. I was like, well, how many accounts do you know on Instagram that are like Amazon review accounts? Even on TikTok, like their whole entire thing is just Amazon finds. And so I was like, I'm just going to do that for TikTok. And so I started doing that, and it obviously worked great. But then in what I'm calling the great TikTok recession of February, the February sale, the Valentine's sale kicked off, and so many TikTok shop affiliates, our views tanked. And it was a legitimate overnight thing, which was so shocking to go from just making thousands of dollars a day. I mean, literally depositing thousands of dollars into my bank account every single day. Views, every single video I posted would sell stuff, every video. So then when it was going from that to like the next day, like every video stuck in like 200 jail. I'd never been in 200 jail ever. So I was like, what is going on? This is insane. And the only accounts that weren't affected were niche down accounts that weren't not just review accounts.
No way.
Like a beauty influencer promoting beauty products. Or I saw one that was doing really well as a content creator, and she was promoting content creator products. So like tripods and ring lights and whatever. And these niche down audiences were safe from this big, pushback of views. And so to me, if you want longevity and more security in the TikTok shop income, I would try to build a core audience and promote products that just make sense to that core audience. Because I don't think that, and even like my review accounts, like I'm stuck, I got all these samples. So I got to finish posting the samples. But when I'm done with the samples, I'm going to be going to a more niched audience just because I think that's going to be safer in the long run. So that's what I would do with it.
That's so interesting. So when you're, the idea of, when I was learning about creating TikTok videos for my like Etsy coaching and for the podcast TikTok account, the style of video, obviously you're looking for a hook. You're trying to do something to catch the attention both visually and in what you're saying immediately in the first like 2 seconds, but then also using trending audio and things like that. Are those strategies still really good for videos that are trying to sell a TikTok shop item, or is there more to it that tends to help create interest, keep the watch time, and then convert to a sale?
Yeah, I would say that there's obviously the hook is still incredibly important, because no matter what your post is about, if you are not keeping their attention past the first 3 seconds, they're gone. You're not going to get the sale because they're not even there. So hook is always
Mhm.
important no matter what you're posting about. So definitely hook, so important to be strategic about that. And I think a lot of people just get so excited. They just start recording product and they're like, why isn't this selling? And I'll go look at it. And the first 3 seconds is them just like clicking play on their phone and that out. And then they're like, okay, hey guys, people are gone,
Yeah, you just know, hey guys, what is a good hook here? Let's start there and then talk more about the strategy. But for people who are like, what is even a hook?
I mean, a hook, because anything that attracts people's attention in the first few seconds, a great thing is questions are always good hooks because human nature, you automatically want to know, like, what's the answer? So if I was like, what is the best way to get TikTok shop views today? And then you would want to, what is the best way naturally?
You
So
want to know.
you're going to watch the video because you want to know the answer. So questions always work as good hooks in general, but also just anything. You can do a visual hook, which is really powerful with TikTok shop, which is where you show something in a very unique way in the very first scene. So just like, oh, this looks weird. And you show something in like kind of an interesting way where people are like, wait, wait a second. Like if slime, when you see slime on screen and you're like, oh my gosh, whoa, so you have like a second of slime and then it cuts. So visual hooks have been working really well for TikTok shop as well. So anything that basically just gets people to slow their scroll, so important. So I always recommend writing down, like sitting down, taking notes on like what would catch people's eye about that product. Like what is the main selling point? What is that going to do for them? Is it going to save them time, energy? It's going to make their life easier. Like what is that thing that it's offering them? Because that's what you want to make apparent in your video. People have to think it's going to solve their problem. Otherwise they're not going to buy it.
Okay, so you're looking for someone to be like to in that first 2 seconds be like, oh, I want to know more. Whether it's because you said something to catch their attention, or you did or showed something that made them want to like almost squint and be like, wait, what was that? And that's kind of what you're looking for. So then from there, though, what I remember something you said that really caught my attention was that people don't really want to know the backstory of why you like or got a product. Is that, help me understand that better?
Yeah, I don't think people are interested in like a very long personal backstory. People want to know, we're selfishly inclined as human nature. Like we want to know what it's going to do for us. And if people make the mistake of having a really long-winded story of like, so my mother-in-law texted me and she wanted a new vacuum. So then I saw someone post about this video about this vacuum and I said, and it's super boring. And people have not really felt like, what's this? What am I getting out of this? People are gone. And so instead, make the whole video about what it can do for them. You can share your personal story in a way of relating what it could do for them. But you want the focus to still be like, oh my gosh, it did this for me. It could do this for you. But it's not like a long, detailed like background story of what brought you to this moment. People just don't care. And
Okay.
So I think trying to be more to the point, and you can still use your personal story to sell something, but just be a little more strategic and making it not centered around your experience, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. It's just an interesting topic to me because so many of us are trying to not be salesy. Like we're trying to be more relatable. We're trying to bring a story to it. We're trying to, I don't know, do more than feel like we're pushing something on someone. So it's interesting, like trying to find the balance of enough story and relatability so that someone stays, they don't feel the ick, they want to buy from you, but not so much that they're just like, I'm listening to my 9-year-old tell a story that won't ever end kind of feeling.
Yeah. And yeah, I think it is like a balancing act. I mean, I saw someone, I was scrolling the other day and she posted a video. I want to say it was about a vacuum actually. And she just had a really quick comment and there'd be like, guys, this vacuum made my life so much easier. Let me show you how it works. And so it's just a really short line that she was like, this made my life easier. Let me show you how it made my life easier. And so it's still in the narrative of showing you. It feels like a friend that's excited to show you, like, oh my gosh, girl, I got to show you. This made my life so much easier. Let me show you why. And it still felt exciting and engaging, but it was still focused on the product and like what it could do for your life. Like that was still how you felt when you left the video. You felt like, oh, I understand how that product would look and function in my life. And that makes me want it. Versus if she just sat in front of the camera with like holding the vacuum, like, so this vacuum today is so exciting. And my mother-in-law texted me, she really wanted a new vacuum. Like people, you know what I'm saying? So I think it is a balancing act for sure. But ultimately, like the videos that I've studied that are making the most money are the ones that play into that. The number one top TikTok shop affiliate does that so great. All of her videos have like one little couple lines of like storytelling, but 90% of the video is just about the product, but you almost don't even catch it because it seems personable. So there is a really great way to do it. It's just the number one thing to not make it all about you. People want to know what it's going to do for them.
Hey there, How to Sell Your Stuff fam. Real quick, I want to make sure you guys know about my most popular free resource that's waiting for you over on my website. Seriously, thousands of people have downloaded this puppy because it's so packed with meaty tips to help you get more sales in your Etsy shop. So first of all, just a little background, or this won't mean much to you at all. But in case you don't know my story, when I first started my Etsy shop in 2016, I had been blogging for a while and had built a decent following on Facebook. We did a nursery reveal for some DIY reclaimed wood signs that my husband built, and we painted with homemade stencils. It's so cringeworthy now. And a few of my followers were like, oh my gosh, those are so cute. They're so rustic. Where can I buy those? And so as you can imagine, the wheels were just turning in my entrepreneurial little mind. With my baby, I wasn't going to be able to continue the social media consulting work that I've been doing because I was constantly on these team calls and needing to do hours and hours of deep focused work. And it just wasn't going to fly. And I really wanted to be present with my daughter. So that's how I ended up on Etsy. And I decided to try and sell reclaimed wood signs. It was the height of the farmhouse craze. So just imagine, like, thank you to the lovely Joanna Gaines, everything farmhouse, everything painted wood. And I thought with my blog followers, I might just have a bit of a leg up. But I was wrong. I was dead wrong. I put in the hours. I got my first round of products ready, photographed, meticulously put together my listings, clicked publish, and absolutely nothing happened. And I think I made $60 total in the first few months because of my blog followers. And then it was like absolute crickets. So like you may feel if you're just getting started and not seeing results yet, I was confused and definitely a bit discouraged. I for sure thought that I was onto something and I didn't know at all why it wasn't working. But the thing about a true-blooded entrepreneur is that we ultimately see business like a puzzle to solve, right? Like we find ways to make it fun. And we're a little bit stubborn and determined to just figure it out. As I always like to say, thanks to the book and phrase coined by Marie Forleo, everything is for figure outable. And so I dug my heels in and started studying everything I could find about making sales on Etsy. I studied the competition. I poured through best-selling listings all over the internet. I took an Etsy course and I started testing things. And lo and behold, by about 6 months, I was making more and more and more sales. Like I just keep learning and tweaking and growing and testing until it started to work. And I built my monthly income to $6,000 plus per month. Like there were even months when I would hit 10, 11, or 12K. And it was the best feeling ever. Like if you can just kind of put yourself in that moment where like you figure it out and you start really making the money. So full circle, back to that free resource that started this whole conversation. When I moved into the Etsy coaching space, I sat down and I wrote out everything that I had done to create results, like all the changes and tweaks I made that turned into more and more sales. And from that, I wrote the first rendition of my Etsy course, Listings That Sell. So I had somewhere to house like all of the details. And I created a free PDF outlining 4 major strategies I used so that I could help someone new or struggling to at least get started without having to invest in a course, right? So that PDF is called the 4 strategies I used to grow my Etsy shop from 25 to 6,000 plus per month. And it is by far my most popular, most downloaded freebie. You can absolutely check it out. The link is in the show notes for you. And I hope it gets your wheels turning and helps you start to move the needle in your Etsy shop in the direction of your goals. So grab it today, and I cannot wait to hear about your takeaways. So like at the end of the day, it's just like selling on Etsy and or creating content for TikTok or anything else. Like go and find people who are doing it really well and binge their stuff. Like really, really take in how are they doing it? How are they positioning it? What are they saying? When are they saying it? How are they saying it? All of that. Okay. You had mentioned that, I have so many notes. You had mentioned that you actually work with an agency, and I had never even heard about that. I obviously kept hearing about TikTok Shop. They have drawn me in and I have purchased the things, but I didn't know that like as someone who's going to sell on TikTok, I could like, what would be the advantage of working with an agency?
So yeah, I've been working with an agency since the very beginning.
Okay.
It's just a really unique opportunity. One of my friends was given to me, and so she introduced me to them, and it was really awesome. And I've never known the life without the agency, but basically the main benefit is that you get higher commissions. And then you also get more free samples. It's also your direct line to TikTok. So like if I have an issue with TikTok, I just reach out to my agency and they can kind of be like a liaison between the two. They give me a lot of free sample opportunities. So like right now on TikTok Shop, you don't get free samples unless you hit 10,000 followers or a certain threshold of sales that each seller kind of sets the parameters of who is, they allow to apply for samples. So the agency will allow you to get free samples without that because you're doing it directly through them. And they also work with the top selling things. So it's the best product with a higher commission and you're getting them for free. And they also give you like extra bonuses. Like if you sell a certain amount, you might get an extra monetary bonus as well. So like there's that kind of stuff. But the biggest thing I think is just having that, like feeling like you have someone that you can like you have your own personal, like kind of like support, I don't know, support rep, but like your manager, like your own personal manager, right? So I really like working with them. I think I've been able to have a lot more opportunities with an agency because I, from the get-go, was always getting products, like top products to promote.
Okay. So Kiera, the agencies, do you pay for them? Like, do you actually pay to work with one or how does that work?
No, so agencies don't take a commission, and there's been kind of like some people pretending to be agencies, and they're like, "Oh, I'll just take 10%." But a legitimate agency does not take a commission from anything. It doesn't cost you anything to be part of it.
Okay,
it's just upside for you. You get the increased commissions, free samples, things like that. But it will not cost you anything to be part of it. They get paid like from TikTok directly.
How do you have to apply to get involved with one? Like I know, like for example, when I was a small blog trying to get on as an affiliate for a lot of places, it was really, really hard. So like, what are some ways that we can get actually approved to work with one?
So a lot of times these agencies will just reach out to you once you hit a certain threshold of sales. Each agency is going to have their own threshold of what they're looking for, but they want you to show and prove that you can sell stuff because they have to go to the sellers and be like, I have people that are going to sell your stuff good. So if you don't fall in that category, you haven't proven that you can sell stuff, then you're not a good target audience for or target affiliate for their agency. So you really need, if you're getting a lot of sales, chances are they're just going to reach out to you directly. In my case, like I was approached before when the program was brand new as an early adopter. And so I was approached before I even posted my shop video. That was a unicorn. That was back then when the program was brand new. But nowadays, it seems like a lot of these people will just message you directly. And then I have an agreement with my agency that everybody who goes through me gets immediate access to my agency. So if you want to work with my agency, you can also just go directly through my program and you basically get pre-authorized. And so that's kind of something that's really important to me. I wanted everyone to have the opportunity that I have. And it's kind of hard when you're a newer seller. And so that was something I was able to set up with them. So I'm really excited about that. And I think it's going to be awesome.
Your TikTok shop course is worth it in and of itself, but like you could literally double the price over that feature by itself. Like just as someone who's worked with affiliates, who's done this over the years, trying to find like a decent product to represent, making sure it's legit, making sure I have a way to negotiate, making sure that they're like the I's are dotted and T's are crossed in a time that is so full of scammers. And then on top of it, not having to go buy all of my samples, like it's for me, when you described the agency concept to me, it was like 10 out of 10. And I can go through your course and get admitted. No problem. Yes, please. May I have another? So thank you for that. That's actually a really big deal.
No, thank you. I'm so excited about it. I was really grateful that they're willing to, work with me on that. But hopefully I hope everyone can have a great experience with them because I think it is such a great opportunity.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just solves so many problems too. Like what products do you represent? What are good products? How do we know? And this is just a one way to just figure all of that out. I think it would be fun to spend a few minutes talking about some of the like TikTok shop no-nos that you've learned along the way because they're painful. And if we can prevent them, let's do it.
Yes, unfortunately, learned the hard way. My first account got suspended. It was kind of the Wild West of the program. Did I know that there were terms and conditions? Yes. Did I just click accept terms and conditions? Yes. So I didn't really pay attention to what I was and wasn't allowed to do. That's on me. I just thought common sense applies, but it turns out the program's a little broader or a little more specific than common sense. And so things that I got shut down for were saying the word dupe. I did not know you were not allowed to say that word. Apparently, it's a huge no-no word in the entire affiliate thing. So if you go on Amazon and you type in like a dupe or whatever, you could like type in dupe anything on Amazon. It just says like no search results. You cannot say dupe. If you're an Amazon affiliate, you can't say dupe. If you're a TikTok affiliate, you can't say dupe.
Why?
No, because it implies counterfeit. So when you say dupe, it means counterfeit to.
Interesting.
And so that's how TikTok, that's what their terms say. Basically, if you're saying dupe, you're saying this is a counterfeit and it's not the original one. So what I got in trouble for was a Stanley dupe. The Stanley dupe that they sent to me with a brief that included an example to say dupe, like from TikTok. Okay. Anyways, so whatever. I was like holding my Stanley, holding the dupe, and I'm being like, look, these are the same. Like, whatever. No, don't do that. So I got shut down. I had a lot of videos that was doing that because they were performing really well. I was making a lot of money from them. So those videos were up for 3 months before I got suspended from it. And so my agency was like, yeah, it can take up to 3 months. So sometimes you think you got away from something and you didn't. So be careful with the dupe. I recommend just not comparing two products to each other unless they're like both name brand. Like if you're like, I'm going to compare like the Lululemon and the Fabletics or whatever, like both legitimate brands, and you're just comparing their like likes and differences instead of like Lululemon to like these Amazon knockoffs that aren't like, you know what I mean? Where you're trying to say like, this is the same thing. I would just stay away from that. So I recommend not comparing two products unless you're very, very intentional about how you're doing it. So not saying dupe. Another one I got in trouble with was from Unoriginal content. It was my original content. It was content that I created. However, you're not allowed to repost content. And I didn't know that. And so I had a really good performing video and I reposted it a few weeks later. So I just downloaded it, reposted it again. It's my own content. It was doing great. If it's doing great, let's just do it again. I do that with Fast Track Girl all the time. So if I Fast Track Girl the video that hits, great. I'm going to repost it again in a few weeks. It's already proven to work. So I did it with my shop content. You're not allowed to do that. So it has to be different content every single time. And it goes as far as to like, I recorded a 15-minute clip of me unboxing something and like talking about the product. And so I created 2 videos out of that 15-minute clip, that I created. But apparently each video has like a certain, like, I think it's called like an IPL code where TikTok knows if it was from like the same video or whatever. So I got flagged for unoriginal content because I was reposting my own content or clips from similar video clip. Anyways, so those are the 2 things that I got shut down for. But another big one that I'm seeing is people do content that doesn't have like, people do like a day in the life and then they'll tag the product, but they didn't actually talk about the product in the video. That'll get you shut down.
So the video needs to be about the product, like the whole video, or it can't just be like a piece of it?
It could be a piece of it, but you actually have to talk about the product in it. Okay. Like the people who are just doing like a day in the life and they're just using the product, but they never like take a minute and be like, by the way, guys, you have to check out this product. This is amazing. You talk about the features of it and then you keep going. But if you don't take that moment, you have to actually talk about the product and its features in the video. Otherwise, it's called irrelevant product promotion. So it has to be like very dedicated. You can't have kids. So don't do kids in any of your advertisements. Kids cannot be involved in the ad at all. A girl in my community got her video suspended because she mentioned that her kid is 3 years old in the video. The kid wasn't in the video. She just mentioned like my 3-year-old likes this product and they got suspended. So just be really careful with anything with kids because there's so many laws around kids and advertising. And there's really no way to get that appealed unless you can prove that the person's over 18 years old. But if it's like a baby, like it's not going to work. So I just would say with anything kids as well, there's definitely a lot of like, you have to be really careful with anything claimy. So like weight loss things, especially, are getting people very suspended, even if it's like your real life before and afters, and that's the legitimate product you use to achieve said results. TikTok's like, unless you can prove it scientifically, like with a medical report paper that like that is truth, like we're going to take that as a false claim that you're just trying to sell something. So just be very careful when you're promoting stuff. I recommend reading all of their guidelines before posting anything, because a lot of people get their first account suspended. It's unfortunately very common because people aren't paying attention to what they are and aren't allowed to do. That happened to me in my case. Mm-hmm. So if you are there and you feel like you're like, why am I getting these violations? Why am I suspended? You're definitely not the only one. Just things like that. Like I didn't think of or know of either. So I think just trying to pay attention to those things. But yeah, there's more stuff too, but those are the ones that are coming to mind to put your own.
No, those are so helpful. Yeah. Bottom line is this is one of those times where you do want to make sure you read the terms. You said you were talking about the unoriginal content. So is what you did on Fast Track Girl okay? because you weren't TikTok shop, or is it not okay on TikTok generally?
So
Like, can we repost videos?
Yeah, I mean, I've had no problem reposting videos on Fast Track Girl that are not shop videos. So shop videos are completely different program because they're merchants. They're, it's a marked ad. So it's technically every shop video is an ad. So now it's hashtag ad. You're following under like FTC guidelines. It's a completely different thing going on with an ad versus just like Kiera posting a TikTok,
Okay.
So it's just totally different. I've never had any issue reposting Fast Track Girl stuff. So at this point, I have no evidence to suggest that you shouldn't repost non-shop content.
Okay.
But for shop content, yeah, just post it once. And then if it doesn't perform, don't delete it. And then just think like, oh, I deleted it. I can repost it again. They know. And that doesn't work. They will flag you. So just if you post it, that's its one chance.
All right, friend, this one is for my people who want to build and scale an Etsy shop for physical products. You may not know this about me because I've run and talked about all different types of shops since launching the podcast, but I actually got my start on Etsy in physical products, and to this day, I consider that my expertise. My very first Etsy business was a handmade shop for wood signs that my husband and I built, painted, boxed, and shipped, and we ran that puppy for 6 amazing years and made hundreds of thousands of dollars with that shop. I will never forget it. I'm so grateful. I know what it's like, and I know how to build a successful handmade business. It can be really hard in the beginning, especially because the physical part of the product creation takes up a lot of time and energy. And then you have to pair that with like having to develop the actual skills of getting people to buy them. It's a whole different mammoth of a ball game. So if that is you, you're planning a physical product shop, or you've got one that's not getting the results that you want, you need my flagship Etsy course. It's called Listings That Sell 2.0. And I will literally teach you everything I know, every secret up my sleeve, and the entire strategy that I used. And now hundreds of other students have used as well to get sales on Etsy. We're going to talk about how Etsy works and how to leverage the algorithm, how to find pockets of demand so that you don't list your products and just get crickets. I'm going to teach you everything about SEO, or search engine optimization, which is just a fancy way of saying I'm going to show you how to use the right words on your listings to make sure that they get seen by shoppers. We're going to talk about product photography tips, shipping, pricing, shop setup, legal and tax basics, and so much more. You're also going to get access to my private student Facebook group, which I am in every single day answering questions, and we support and celebrate each other all the time. So, bottom line, if you want to make this Etsy thing work for you, I have over 20 hours of training waiting for you so you can master the Etsy marketplace or fill in any gaps of knowledge that you need. Or if you are strapped for time, which is 100% where I'm at right now, and you just need the bottom line, I've provided a fast track roadmap so you can get through the most critical lessons in under 5 hours. If you are ready, let's do this together. I'm going to hold your hand. You can visit the link in the show notes to learn more, and I will see you on the inside. Okay. Well, and I even saw in that free Facebook group, which is a great one, by the way, that if you just don't delete anything ever, because when you do, it'll affect like future content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't delete anything ever. It's like the hardest thing to overcome on your account. It's like just like a black mark on your account. It's so hard to overcome. And the more videos you delete, the longer it takes for you to recover. And so if you have a video that you don't like and you just don't want it on your feed anymore, just switch it to only me. So it's not going to be on your main profile and only you can see it. The only problem is that with shop content, that's not an option because it's an ad. So the only option that you have is to switch it to ads only, which means that the video will not show on your profile. It will only show if that brand is putting ad money behind it.
Okay.
And that would only show in people's feeds. It still wouldn't show on yours. And so if you don't like your shop video on your feed, just switch it to ads only. It's not going to show on your profile. But it's not going to give you that black mark of having deleted content, basically like vote of no confidence from the TikTok algorithm. They're like, you're just deleting your videos. Why am I going to push this out? And this has been proven so many times too. It's not just speculation. If you delete videos, like it's just so hard to come back from that. I'd just be so careful with that. And like right now with TikTok so heavily doing SEO, it can take weeks for your video to start performing. So if it didn't take off right away, it doesn't mean that it will never take off. I woke up this morning, a video I posted 2 weeks ago that got like 200 views and sold nothing. Woke up this morning and sold like 15 things before 7 a.m. But if I would have deleted it, would kind of, was slower at the beginning, that would have never happened. So it's just kind of a slower burn. Just be patient. Don't delete stuff because it still has a chance to rank and you just never know.
You had said, you know what? The great thing is that your course covers every single detail, because there are 17 different things I want to ask you about that we don't have time for. Like, we could have gone down such a rabbit hole about what happens when a brand decides to use your TikTok as one of their ads. There's just so many things, but you kind of just touched on this since, what did you call it? The TikTok recession of February 2024, which has now rebounded. But you've learned that since then, advertising content isn't showing them as much through the For You page, but you figured out kind of the workaround of how to get that or how to actually show up again. You're getting sales again. What was the best way to do that in the algorithm?
So the best way, honestly, is just to have a niche down account that you have. Okay. Your account fits into your niche, and you're probably not going to feel those drops and ebbs and flows like I did so much, because I was promoting such a variety of products. Like, it was just all over the board. But I will say that when I got my views slashed, I was definitely feeling sorry for myself. And so instead, I studied hundreds of creators. I talked to the agency owners. I talked to the thought leaders in the space, studied so many analytics, and including my own. What I really found is that it looks like that there's about like a 2-week delay. And it used to be immediately I post something, within 25 minutes, it's selling stuff. That was amazing. Now it seems like it's a little bit delayed, where I'm seeing about a 2-week delay ish. It's not exact, but around there, where I post something and basically about 2 weeks later, it starts bringing sales. And really, a lot of those sales come from SEO. So all of my videos are optimized with SEO, TikTok SEO. Basically just means when somebody searches whatever my video is about, that my video is going to come up in that search, and they're more likely to purchase from my video because it's the one in front of them. And so that's kind of how I've been seeming to come. Like, when I look at my analytics, I'm mostly showing up in the search. So, I mean, I get FYP traffic too, but a lot of it's coming from the search, which is so great because that's targeted traffic. People that already know what they're looking for. Your video shows up, they purchase. It's great. And TikTok knows that people are sick of the shop content in their feed. And so they know, like, if somebody's searching for something, there's nothing wrong with us putting a shop video in front of there. And they know that. And so I think that it's working really well to optimize with TikTok SEO.
That's helpful to know, though, because sort of just like when you understand on Etsy that most shoppers are interfacing with your listings in the feed as opposed to your storefront, that really changes how you position the listing. And so if you're creating TikTok shop videos, understanding that most people are going to be interfacing with them because they searched for them and they're looking in the search results, as opposed to it coming up on the For You page or them coming over to your profile. I mean, I know that would definitely affect how I'm starting off a video. This is people who have no idea who I am.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and the truth is that, like, if you're promoting videos, ultimately they want to know what it does for them anyways. And so if you can make that the focus of like how they watch your video, they think that's going to solve a problem, a pain point in my life, they want to buy.
It's just absolutely fascinating. These ways that are blowing up in our world that are totally new for people to make money online. For me as a serial entrepreneur, I'm giddy. Like, I almost can't sleep over it. I'm so excited. So thank you so much, Kiera. This has been, my heart is full. I don't know about yours. This is so much fun. Could you please tell folks, I'll obviously link it below, but tell them about the course that you created to help people with this, because it's profoundly valuable.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, the big thing I saw is that so many people started talking about this program and so many people wanted to take advantage of it. But the same thing I kept seeing over and over and over again is, I want to do this, but where do I start? Or I saw people being like, okay, I'm in, but I don't know what to do. And then I saw so many like rookie mistakes going on where people were getting suspended left and right because they didn't realize what they were and were not supposed to do. I saw people just making content that was never going to sell stuff, or promoting products that just were also never going to sell, just wasting so much time. And so I decided to put together a training of everything that I've learned, also everything that I've studied and talked and coordinated with agency leaders over, and like gotten so much good knowledge. I put everything into the online course so that everybody can use it. It's step-by-step, trying to walk you through the whole program. So once you get in and you're like, what do I do now? It's going to walk you through that whole thing, help you create that content that converts, get you that introduction to the agency. And it's I'm actually adding 2 more modules this week as well that I'm very excited about. That will help you spy on your competitors. I don't know, spy is kind of I don't know.
Learn from.
Yeah. look at analytics from other creators and some other fun trainings that are coming out this week. So my whole hope of the course is that you can take it and it's going to answer every question that you have about the TikTok Shop affiliate program. And you're going to walk away feeling like you know exactly what to do to make the most money possible, and hopefully be really excited, because I honestly think this is such an exciting opportunity.
Yeah, especially it is so exciting. It is so exciting. And I think that a lot of you guys know how to create good content, or you're interested in learning, and this is the way to do it. There's so much money that we're leaving on the table if we don't peek at this. Kiera, thank you so much. And where are the best places for people to find you, follow you, connect, all of the things?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely on all the platforms, but TikTok is my main hub where I hang out. So at the Fast Track Girl, but I'm also on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff, all the socials. I'm everywhere, but my main place is TikTok.
You can find her at the Fast Track Girl pretty much anywhere. Well, yeah. I just want to thank you for being one of my like trusted people, someone that I always know I can send people to. They're going to have an awesome experience. They're going to learn so much, and you're just the real deal. And I adore you. So thank you for being that. You're part of it. Yeah. You're a household name here at the How to Sell Your Stuff family. So I thank you so much. And you guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope this is interesting. Such a different topic for us, but we need it and it's good. And until next week, go make something awesome. I'll talk to you next time. And that's a wrap on this episode of How to Sell Your Stuff on Etsy. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you're looking for more resources, head on over to howtosellyourstuff.com, where you'll find podcast show notes, all the links from today's episode, the blog, courses, coaching, and more. If this episode was helpful to you, awesome. The greatest compliment I can receive from you is a rate, review, and subscribe on this podcast. Not only will it allow us to connect again on a future episode, it lets me know I'm providing you with value and helps other people find this content more easily. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your support. Have a great day and see you next time.